Rated chainsaw. Protective gear.
Yeah, absolutely critical stuff.
The numbers are pretty stark. Over 30,000 chainsaw-related injuries in the U.S. every year. I mean, think about that.
It's a lot, and what's really striking is how many are preventable.
Exactly. So the mission for everyone listening today is simple. Let's break down the essential protective gear you absolutely need to stay safe.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Let's start right at the top. Protecting your head. Chainsaw helmets. And this isn't just any old hard hat we're talking about.
That's a really key point to grasp right away. You know, a standard hard hat, it offers some basic impact protection, sure. But a chainsaw helmet, it's engineered specifically for the unique dangers of chainsaw work.
Right, so what makes a good one? The info we looked at really emphasizes a high-impact ABS shell.
Yeah, that ABS shell, that's your first line of defense, really. Durability.
Exactly. Built tough. But it's not just about things falling on your head, is it?
No, not at all.
Think about all the stuff a chainsaw kicks up: wood chips, sawdust.
Oh yeah, flying debris, even potentially small bits of chain if things go really wrong.
Which is why that full-face visor is so important.
Precisely. It creates a barrier. Your whole face, eyes, nose, mouth, shielded from that high-speed stuff.
Simple idea, but incredibly effective. Prevents some really nasty injuries.
It really does. And it's interesting how these helmet features often, work together. They complement each other.
Like the integrated earmuffs a lot of them have.
Yeah.
That's a benefit maybe you don't think about immediately.
Right. We focus on the immediate physical risks, the cuts and impacts. But that noise, prolonged exposure to chainsaw noise, can cause real hearing damage down the line. So those earmuffs, they aren't just a nice to have.
No, they're a long-term health thing.
And noise-induced fatigue is real too, constantly fighting that engine roar. It impacts your focus, can increase mistakes.
Makes sense.
Integrated earmuffs help cut down on that strain. And another detail, seems small, but it's crucial. The chin strap.
Oh, absolutely vital. Needs to be snug, right?
Totally.
Imagine a kickback scenario that helmet has to stay put. If it's loose, it could just fly off.
Exactly. Leaving you totally exposed right when you need protection most. A secure strap keeps it where it needs to be, continuous protection.
And let's be really clear. A baseball cap.
No, just...
Doesn't even come close, does it?
Yeah.
Keeps the sun off, maybe. But against impact, debris, nothing.
Zero protection value there.
Okay. The info also mentions, the range of helmets out there. Basic forestry models.
Yeah, covering the essentials.
Up to more advanced ones. Things like airflow vents.
Right. Which can make a big difference in comfort, especially if you're working for a long time or it's hot out.
Yeah, comfort matters. If it's uncomfortable, you're less likely to wear it.
That's the reality. Manufacturers get that. The core protection, that's non-negotiable. But they're thinking about comfort, too.
So when you weigh the risk of a head injury, investing in a good helmet seems like a pretty straightforward choice.
It really does. A wise investment in your well-being.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, head covered. Let's move down. Hands. You're gripping this powerful, vibrating machine.
Yeah, hand protection is paramount.
And just like helmets, your standard work gloves. Probably not enough.
That's right. The forces involved, the potential hazards, it demands a higher level of protection. Chainsaw-specific gloves, that's where you need to look.
And the key difference is the material.
Exactly. Our sources point to slash-resistant materials, things like Kevlar or Dyneema.
Right, those sound serious. Designed to withstand a lot of force.
Yeah, they're heavy-duty materials. It's not about making you invincible, but drastically reducing how bad an injury might be if something does go wrong.
And what about grip? Holding onto that vibrating saw securely seems pretty important.
Oh, absolutely essential for control. Slippage. That leads to all sorts of dangerous situations. So a good grip texture is key.
Makes sense. And they often have things like flexible knuckles. Why is that important?
Dexterity. You need to be able to move your hands freely, right?
Yeah, you're not just holding it still. You're adjusting, maneuvering.
Exactly. Stiff, bulky gloves would make that much harder. Could actually increase the risk, ironically.
So it's a balance between protection and being able to actually work.
Precisely. Dexterity and protection. The info we reviewed used a good analogy, like a splinter, we've all had one. Annoying. Now imagine something way worse, actual contact with the chain. These gloves are designed to give you a layer of defense against that.
Okay. And it gets even more specialized. The sources mentioned gloves with chain-dragging tech. Sounds intense.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, the innovation here. Chain dragging tech. It usually means features built in to try and slow down or snag the chain if it hits the glove.
Ah, okay, so like extra material or fibers designed to tangle it up.
Kinda, yeah. The idea is to potentially prevent or minimize really bad damage, like to tendons. It's a more advanced level of protection for those critical, high-impact moments.
Wow.
It really shows how seriously manufacturers take hand injuries, the lengths they go to trying to mitigate those risks.
It's amazing. That level of tech in just a glove. Okay, hands covered. Now, legs. Another big area where things can go wrong fast. Chainsaw chaps.
Absolutely non-negotiable, leg protection. Your legs are, well, a huge target area. Injuries there can be really debilitating.
And chaps are specifically designed for this. They have layers inside. Ballistic fibers.
That's right. Materials engineered to do something very specific if they meet a moving chainsaw chain.
Which is, they basically jam it up. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's the core idea. It's actually pretty clever. When the chain spinning super fast hits those loose, strong fibers, the fibers get pulled into the chain mechanism, into the sprocket. They basically clog it, stall the chain out, ideally before it can cut deeply into your leg.
Stops it in its tracks.
Okay.
And the info distinguished between standard chaps and chain-catching chaps. What's the difference?
Generally, chain-catching chaps are seen as the more robust option. More layers, maybe tougher fibers, higher degree of protection.
So better for heavier work.
Yeah, exactly. Standard chaps are definitely better than nothing, maybe okay for really light trimming, but for more serious cutting, or if you just want the maximum protection available, chain catching is the way to go. Different levels of defense.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So you get the right type, but fit is also crucial.
Oh, absolutely critical, for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
If they're too loose, they can snag on branches, brush, whatever's around you. That could cause a fall, which is dangerous enough without a running chainsaw.
Right, trip hazard.
Exactly. But if they're too tight, they restrict your movement, makes it harder to stay balanced, work efficiently, and that indirectly also increases risk.
So snug enough to stay put, but loose enough to move freely.
That's the sweet spot. And like any safety gear, you can't just assume they're okay. You need to inspect them, right, before each use.
What are you looking for? Tears? Cuts?
Yep. Tears, cuts, any serious fraying, anything that looks like the outer layer is compromised. If those protective fibers inside are damaged, the chaps won't work properly. They need replacing.
Because they're protecting a really vulnerable area. Thighs, specifically.
Exactly. Major arteries run through there. Protection is absolutely vital.
And when the chain does hit the chaps, it's not just a passive block, is it? Something about energy absorption.
That's another key part. Those fibers aren't just physically stopping the chain, they're also designed to absorb and dissipate the energy of that impact.
Ah, okay, so it lessens the force hitting your leg.
Right. Helps minimize the potential injury even if the chain isn't stopped instantly. It's a multi-layered defense system.
Okay, legs are covered. Let's hit two more crucial spots. Eyes and feet. Only get one pair of each.
Non-negotiable protection for both. Let's do eyes first.
All right. Flying debris is just inevitable, isn't it?
Totally. Sawdust, wood chips, maybe bigger bits. Your eyes are incredibly vulnerable, and injury there, lifelong consequences potentially.
So standard safety glasses, maybe not enough.
Often not. The recommendation is usually ANSI-rated goggles.
ANSI rated, meaning they meet specific impact standards.
Exactly. And goggles give you a much tighter seal around the eyes compared to glasses.
Ah, better for keeping out dust and smaller particles.
Right. You want to really seal that area off. And another feature mentioned, fog-resistant lenses.
Oh, yeah. That's huge. Anyone who's worked hard wearing eye pro knows how fast they can fog up.
Especially in humid weather or if you're sweating.
And if you can't see clearly, that's when accidents happen.
Fogged lenses compromise your vision, simple as that. Critical for safe chainsaw use. So fog-resistant coatings or good ventilation, that makes a real difference.
Okay, eyes sorted. Down to the feet. We're not talking garden shoes here.
Definitely not. You're operating powerful equipment, often on uneven ground. Regular shoes just won't cut it.
What are the risks? Dropping the saw.
Slipping on wet leaves or mud, rolling logs, general hazards of a work site.
So what makes a proper chainsaw safety boot? Steel toes seem like a must.
Absolutely fundamental. Provides that crucial impact protection. Drop the saw, heavy log rolls, steel toes can prevent serious crush injuries.
And underfoot, slip-resistant soles.
Essential. Traction is key. You need to maintain your footing, especially when maneuvering with the saw running. Slip-resistant soles help prevent falls.
Which are extra dangerous holding a chainsaw.
Exactly. And it's not just the sole. Ankle support is really important too.
Right. Easy to twist an ankle on uneven ground.
Very common injury. Good ankle support stabilizes your foot, your lower leg, reduces the risk of sprains, twists, provides that extra stability.
And the info recommended logger-style treads. What's special about those?
Logger treads are designed for maximum grip in tough outdoor conditions, usually deeper, more aggressive patterns. They really dig into loose soil, mud, uneven terrain, superior traction.
It all works together. The sources mentioned something about foot safety connecting to back safety. How does that work?
Well, think about it. If your footing isn't stable, if you're slipping or struggling for balance, you're much more likely to compensate using your back muscles in awkward ways, leads to strain, potential injury.
Ah, I see. So stable, supportive boots mean better body mechanics overall.
Exactly. Reduces stress on your back. It's really a whole body safety system we're talking about.
From head to toe, yeah.
Yeah,
And the right gear is a critical link in that safety chain.
precisely.
Okay, let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot, but these are the essentials. 5 key pieces. Can you give us that quick rundown again?
Sure. So starting at the top, a proper chainsaw helmet protects the skull.
Got it.
Then chainsaw-specific gloves for grip and slash protection for the hands.
Right.
Moving down, chainsaw chaps, crucial for protecting your legs from chain contact.
Okay.
For vision, ANSI-rated goggles, seal out debris, keep things clear.
Yep.
And finally, chainsaw safety boots, steel toes, slip-resistant soles, ankle support, keep you grounded and protected.
Helmet for the skull, gloves for grip, chaps for the chain, goggles for vision, boots for grounding. Got it.
That's the core kit.
And like the sources said, pretty bluntly, skimping on this gear. It's like gambling with ER trips.
Yeah, that phrase really hits home, doesn't it? The potential cost of one bad injury. Physical, financial.
Yeah.
It just dwarfs the cost of the gear.
No comparison. So where can folks actually get this stuff? Retailers. Online.
Exactly. Good places to start are, reputable outdoor suppliers, stores that specialize in forestry or landscaping equipment.
Local dealers, maybe?
Yeah, or well-established online retailers focused on safety gear. Look for the certifications, read reviews, make sure you're getting quality gear that meets the standards.
And the bottom line, really, is that buying this gear, it's not just an expense. It's a direct investment in your own safety, your well-being.
It's a proactive choice. You equip yourself properly, you drastically reduce your risk, you make sure you can keep doing your projects or your job safely, confidently.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this.
Yeah.
Next time you pick up that chainsaw, just take a moment. Think about the long term. Neglecting safety. What are the real consequences?
Yeah.
Decided to wear the right gear every single time. That's a conscious choice. It directly impacts your ability to keep doing what you enjoy or what you need to do without a life-altering accident. It's not just about today.
Right.
It's about all the tomorrows, too.